And I'm already getting jittery, so we already have one lined up for you, Jaden. Tell us all about it.
We are going to have a Riften versus the real Mr. T, also known as Travis D. Samus versus Wolf. A matchup I feel like everyone has just seen so much, but that doesn't make it any less interesting. And we're going to be getting into Game 1.
Yeah, already Riften getting those H2O in his body because this is going to be a very long set. Obviously, this Samus is going to wall out pretty hard, and for Wolf to get in, again, he does have that reflector, but at the same time, right now, not taking the I was going to say not taking the usual approach, but getting toe-to-toe with the bounty hunter, and the bounty has been collected so far on that first stock. Insane first stock claim.
He really saw the new graphics, like, I know the best way to kick it off. Starting off with a pretty good 0-0, and having Lita Samus is just so good, because now he makes you so much harder to approach, and now they have to force the option. You can sit back and watch what they do, but we're seeing Riften apply really good pressure, but now being thrown off stage.
Yeah, I just, Riften probably wasn't expecting a very in-your-face Samus to kick off the event. Great charge shot off the side as well, and another shutout because of how limiting that side B is. Just another wall out, I was about to say balls to the wall, but just right now, Mr. T going insane off the first showcase for this run.
Yeah, and it would, like, you know, Samus, you figure stock's moving flying so fast. Riften's already on his last stock, only a minute in, and currently just kind of struggling. I feel like the real Mr. T is just finding his opening so well, and just abusing Wolf recovery, as you mentioned earlier. But now we're seeing Riften abuse part of the Samus that, you know, isn't great landing. Her landing's just not amazing just because she's so floaty.
Right, you can stall as much as you want with that down B, but eventually you do have to face down your opponent. And right now, Riften locking down the main stage, doing a lot more in that effort of locking down that stage control. Gets a grab for his efforts here, 136, looking for claws, not getting the beefiest hit off that claw hit. And again, taking inch, and right now Samus is going to just take that all the way for that extension of that mile.
Yeah, I feel just not working out for Riften just ended up costing him a lot of percent, and now he's off stage against Samus. Went from like 0 to 100 just because of that, and now he not only does find a way to take the stock, but take the next one, and the real Mr. T holding on to this stock so well right now. But as I said, getting caught by the up tilt, bringing them both to last stock. But Wolf can make this back pretty easily. Absolutely. To find the right hit.
Yeah, he does have, you know, more solid combos. You know, you have to be very risky if you're going to go coast to coast with them, as Wolves do. But I'm sure Riften is practiced enough to, you know, at least take combos to their fullest, not risk a whole lot. But again, landing has been a key factor, like you mentioned before. Right now, finally getting that nair, can't capitalize off it again, and chooses to back away from the Samus, just putting Samus right at home when you give them that full range. Blank in-your-face charge shot there from Mr. T to fight back. And again, it's slowly getting out of Riften's control. Like you said, he needs a good 1 or 2 combos to get right back in this, but we will not see it come to pass. An explosive first stock, first round of this entire bracket, no less, let alone this first set, going the way of the real Mr. T.
Yep, trading a backer for backer, Riften just kind of whiffing his, and the real Mr. just hitting his, setting himself pretty good, up 1-0, and honestly, in a best-of-5 set, being the person to take that first game is really helpful, considering if you start trading games, you have that game 5 counter pick. But I'm guessing by the fact we went back so fast, you're probably going back to some Battlefield. I think it's a pretty good stage to take Samus. It's not big, so she can't run, but it's better than Battlefield, because when she up B's on Battlefield, she gets immediately top flat, and it's really hard to punish, but now that top flat isn't there. So this is probably going to be the stage where I'm seeing at least Riften be picking a lot, but if Riften does take a game, I guess we'll see what the Samus counter pick may be.
Right, that and if Samus is going to land on those platforms, Wolf's up here does a pretty good job covering, I want to say, most, if not all of them.
Yeah,
like, it's not PS2, like, it doesn't cover the entire thing, but it'll give you basically a 75% chance of hitting. Great spot dodge to avoid that grab, and right doing a lot better this time around, having Mr. T on the back pedal here, off stage as well. Great shielding as well, doing a lot more defensive options because, again, this has been a very in-your-face and aggressive Samus that we saw before, but a quick moment will give Mr. T capitalization off that down smash. Will force Riften off the stage, and again, like you said, the space animals, rather, have difficulty getting back on, especially when you are the queen of locking down stage, the ledge control, rather. It's going to make very hard for Wolf to climb back from that, and silenced efforts yet again.
Yeah, I feel like the real Mr. T's mix-ups have just been really, really good. Like, we saw that Waveland down smash, and average Samus is not doing that. And I feel like these mix-ups are helping the real Mr. T so much and just give him openings that, like, the average Samus player really wouldn't have. And then he can play, disadvantage draw. He has been doing a very good job of not losing his stock. I mean, 130 is probably like, the earliest we've seen him lose his stock so far, or relatively, and that's pretty good for Sam, especially against a character like Wolf, who sometimes can struggle to find that kill and struggle to get those openings, especially because the main combos tend to be smash attacks or back air, which can be pretty hard to land on Sam since she's, letting you approach.
Right, and really, like, the mix-ups and just the practice of the character, I think it just comes down to the fact that, we might not have as many Wolves than other regions, but we certainly have a lot more of them than we do Samus's. I think, really, Mr. T is one of the more mainstay representatives of this character in the Philly scene, so it could be down to just not knowing the character as well as one should. But right now, Riften surging back on stage, keeping it respectable, 136-83. All he needs is one more combo, and again, if you lead off to the sides of the stage, that could KO, but careening off the sides of the screen right now is Riften trying to get back. Will not get back past that beefy back air. Those tried and true stronger hits. For how hop-happy Riften seems to be off that ledge. It was a great coverage option to get that solid hit in and claim the stock. But again, Wolf doesn't need a whole lot, and he is locking down stage control, so look for these F-tilts trying to claw down at ledge here.
Yeah, and now we just feel like seeing Riften try to get that down smash and kind of struggling. And I used to once again play the game how to get in on Samus, and I feel like the real Miss T has been doing a really good job of making it really hard. And you just like that jab one a lot. We're seeing jab one dash back grab, jab one charge shot, and he's mixing it up so well. Riften just has to guess, and unfortunately for him, he's been guessing wrong a lot of the time, and the real Mr. T has been making very good use of it. But hitting that drop down back here, basically evening it a one Wolf combo exceeds this percent, but sort of one Samus combo, and more and seeing those up airs and that forward air take Wolf off stage, and now you're being ledge trapped. How do you get out of this situation with that fair going through Samus's? Multiple Samuses aren't great.
Absolutely, and again, just finding their home off the sides of the stage, locking down that ledge option, but more main stage control. Riften is trying to claw that away from the Samus, but Samus's iron grip in that left hand, not the right one, will be able to at least keep Riften on his toes, looking for an opening. And again, that 1-2 jab, the 2 finally coming out. And again, up B breakaway, just not giving Riften a whole lot more whiff options to punish off of, and the fair will silence a second round going in the books for the real Mr. T. We'll see what Riften started to have a lot more solid footholds there going into that, but again, it's really hard when you have like such I'd say, like, fleeting control, sure, but, like, very decisive control on stage to force that Wolf off of ledge, and then you're just sitting pretty, basically, for the entire match after that.
Yeah, I do see Riddell going to Hollow Bastion, though, and I do quite like this pick. I think this is, like, it's kind of ironic, because when you think of Uniplat, you think of Smashville, and that stage is actually, like, traditionally pretty good for them.
Yeah.
Because they hide on their platform. But Hollow Bastion's actually pretty good from what I can tell of taking zoners, too, because Story, they can sit on the platform, but you have space too to back up if you need to, so they can't play the entire game under the platform, and also gives you enough space just to distance yourself from Samus, and if you get hit back, you're not immediately off stage on small battlefield, which is definitely, I feel like, is going to help Riften, because I feel like off stage has been eating him alive and being ledge shot by Samus, so now hopefully that will be able to help him.
Yeah, that center platform certainly gives a lot more leeway for Riften locking. Oh, no! Okay, gets back. Thankfully, he threw out that air dodge a little early, so he was able to upbeat back, but he is making his efforts finally known on these left and right side of the stage, which he had difficulty doing before. And again, one thing you have to consider with Hollow Bastion is that projectile characters do like to hunker down underneath that that platform just to really just, basically Fort Knox their way against any opponent. But at the same time, if you can't control the stage, you wipe that option away from those projectile-heavy characters. So Riften doing an insane job taking the stage control, a very decisive factor for this entire set, because this is a winner side set for him.
Yeah, and he's on his last.
If you don't want to drop your first set on winner side very early on, so for Riften to fight back so far as he's done, this is a huge checkmark for him.
Yeah, and if you lose this too, I feel like it's also like a pretty big mental hit. But we are seeing Riften kind of have that lead. First time he's had a lead this entire set, and I do think the Hollow Bastion pick is working. Because now if Samus decides she wants to camp in the corner, she's not covered by a platform anymore.
Exactly.
You are. And so I feel like that's going to be a very big boon. And if Riften does take this game, it does give him an idea of what he might want to ban. But we have to get there first, and we're seeing Wolf get once again thrown off stage, grab. The real Mr. T has been getting so much leverage off of his ledge traffic, and finally landing that up tilt. We've been seeing him go for it a lot, but he hasn't been able to nab that kill until then. So using that to keep it up, and Samus up here. Oh.
Yeah, I know. Like, if you do let those invincibility frames miss rather off that up air, it leaves you a little bit of end lag, and I think Wolf has the attack get up enough to punish that. So Mr. T was being a little too cautious with it, but knew the time to throw it at that time when the bomb was able to connect with it. And right now, he's fighting to get back to stage, trying to mix up his landing with those bombs, but right now, Riften having none of it. A stark difference from those round 1 and 2s right now. Doing a great job, again, locking down the stage control, naming the game for him right now, but approaching that mid-section. And right now, with the keys to that Fort Knox, as I alluded to before, in the hands of Samus, we'll see how Mr. T... No, he went a little too hard with that fair and sort of went away from the coverage of that upper platform. And as we reset here back to neutral, it still seems solidly in control. Great dash attack in order to keep the momentum in Riften's corner. Yep,
and now we just need to see how well we can play with this lead. Building a lead as big as you can against him is very important, because the moment you get down to your last stocks, you can make the up deficit so well. So giving yourself as big of an advantage you can is going to be very helpful, and we are seeing him just start ripping these up airs into Samus, just comboing so well. You know, she may have bomb to help her land, but she's a big and floating character. If she doesn't get these opportunities to bomb, it can be pretty rough. But now we are seeing the real Mr. T fight back. Using forward air a lot, I've noticed, just in many situations. But I feel like it has not been working out as well recently.
Well, it is a multi-hit, so it might be just like a comfort pick for him there.
Yeah, like I'll see him do fade back fair a lot, but I mean that fair works because Samus ledge trapping fair is disgustingly good, and now to see how Riften can keep his lead if he can. Just have to do your best to not be on ledge, because the moment you are getting ledge trapped by Samus, your stock can eviscerate. 0 to 100 in a minute, and a full charge shot at ledge can just delete your stock, if not just an up tilt or a forward air.
Yeah, and you really don't have to bet a whole lot because you are in control, especially retreating to that platform. Great awareness there for Riften to not risk getting in the face of Samus just to land back on main stage. But again, having a hard press time trying to resort to grab of all things on the ledge recovery, but catching the jumping Samus in the air with that sweeping up smash will give Riften finally a tally mark in his corner. And we'll see if he can keep that momentum going. He does have the H2O to replenish himself, so he's checked off in that regard. But in terms of keeping the aggression up on this Samus, it's going to be, like you said, making sure the Samus doesn't have anywhere to land, so no options like small battlefield or Smashville, and even things like, I believe, Kalos is a valid counterpick here. It's certainly something you don't want any Samus to go to.
Yeah, and it does look like we are going down. While this stage is usually pretty good for Wolf, just because down smash and Bear being really good options to kill off the side, I don't know how I feel about leaving the stage open, just because Samus forward are killing off the side with how good the real Mr. T has been. Ledge trapping is very dangerous.
Exactly, yeah.
But this could be the risk Riften needs, and could be the start of his reverse 3-0. I think a lot of it's going to be, how much is he able to keep up the pressure, and how well is the real Misty able to keep him out, especially because, you know, this is going to be a little bit of a longer set, and it's going to be able whose stamina is there, because if you start messing up even just a little bit, your lead can vanish, and we're seeing Riften play a little bit well with his stamina. It's having the lead.
Yeah, it does, it's not as wide as PS2, but again, it brings into that claim of the platforms being not fully covered, but mostly covered by that up air, so if he wants to play that game, great reflection off that charge shot, able to get himself back. And again, when the platforms go away, this is basically Wolf's home, because we were talking about landing on platform might not be a safe option. Now there is no safe option for Samus landing, so he's going to utilize the stage swap in its fullest right now. And again, just taking that to the bank right now. Great back air to silence his efforts. 130, it could be slipped away any moment, but there comes Town and City, saving his hide from an stop claim off that upper blast zone. Stage pick certainly looking the benefit for him right now, but with Travesty locking down stage control, using that fair, like you said before, to keep him on his toes. We'll see for how long that Riften can lock it down. Not long enough.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
My word.
That might be the Zare of the lifetime, but that was just enough to get the real Mr. T back in this game. 79% is rough, but you are in Town and City, and just find the right openings. That's all you need, and we're currently seeing Riften in the corner, and Yeah.
But why aren't you here, Jackal? Why not just get that out of the way? Yeah, everybody saw it.
He saw the set and wanted to play Smash. With how Riften's playing, I don't blame him. Riften's definitely been making better decisions as this match has gone on. I think he's starting to figure out more and more what he wants to deal with Sam, especially when it comes to getting out of corner, getting back to stage. Because Riften's been adapting a lot better on how to get out than the real Mr. T on how to get that kill.
And looking for the kill, like you said, 123 prime position, and
It
just
didn't
failing
work.
to get the tether grab
I don't
working
know why it didn't
for
work, I
him.
can't lie to you. I guess he wasn't close enough? I don't know, there's are really weird in this game.
Yeah. I mean, from like Smash 64, there was a hidden tech where you could make it like 3 times its length.
Oh my god.
It finally has a nerf where it didn't connect that time around, but picking up the pieces afterward, using the blank area with no platforms that Town and City provides for Riften not to escape off that ledge trap scenario, and was able to get that clean down smash. But again, just going nearly coast or from Midtown rather to the coast with that one combo put Travesty on that 59%. But the Wolf, the worst for the wear, 75 looking down right now, and again with those platforms on the extremes. He has to find a way to put Samus in the air, as he just did, but he's not really getting a whole lot off of those up airs that we said should be a primary option in his toolkit. He does have Samus off the ledge here. Charge shot in the face yet again, being a safe pick for Mr. T.
Seeing Wolf go all that high from that really weird up B, I feel like honestly isn't great for Riften, because now he just find a way to land, and I feel like the space is helping the real Mr. T a lot, because he can just kind of space around, but that unsafe unshielded missile point black does allow Riften to get that up smash out of shield. Now bringing us to a game 5 situation with Riften currently on his way to reverse 3-0.
Yeah, very surprising. Like you said, it leaves that full charge missile just so vulnerable for that sweeping up smash of all things. Very questionable situation for Mr. T going forward, but they had dominating control for their first 2 sets. Riften answered back in kind, so already for this round 1, it is going to be a do-or-die moment, and all their knowledge that they had those sweeping 2 sets are going to be put to the task right here, right now. A thriller of a round 1 will conclude with our warning little preview there, as we got a hot set Game 5 alert coming at you.
It's
again on Town
pretty
City.
ironic, because the winner of the set does get to fight MPG.
Yeah, huge.
And I think this is a match both players are really going to want, because both characters are pretty good into Mega Man, but first they have to get through each other. And a pretty good song too. Okon music, I rock with it.
Need to keep themselves a reality check. Not too high octane, but still getting there.
Yep. And a pretty good song for Samus to just try to, I feel like slowing down the pace and just get these openings. I feel like the Real Mystery is going to do a little bit better job of catching these jumps out of disadvantage off of ledge, because I feel like Riften's been getting away with them a little bit more, but particularly using the top platforms of Town and City, and I feel like the real Mr. T needs to do a better job covering those. But right now we're seeing Riften have an insane tech chase scenario and keep the real Mr. T on their feet, and if he can get secure a stock off this ledge trap, he'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, so far this match has been the battle of platform versus non-platformed, not thanking his lucky stars. It was in full charge shot, but no, she can get the job done with just the futuristic whip there with the down, but the great down smash coverage to keep it toe-to-toe. Like I was alluding to before, we had a platform versus non-platform gameplay tactic for both these players. Like you said, Wolf in the hands of Riften was doing a great job utilizing the non-platform zones, as he just did right now, to pile on 80 damage on the real Mr. T, but at the same time, those high platforms, as you regarded to before, was able to grant Mr. T the readability of Riften's option off of ledge, and was able to put pressure on his opponent in earnest. Great catch on the waiting Samus there off the ledge, and was able to sweep with that down smash. And now Riften one stock away from keeping the winner's side hopes for himself. But like you said, huge momentum swing. You're going to face MPG earlier than most people would find him. Yeah. So we're going to have to see How does Travesty fight back here, especially with these platforms? He has to utilize them. I think they're going to get called away pretty quick, so how does he take the most benefit out of it?
I feel like he just needs to just work on trying to get to a landing, but it almost kind of feels too late, because now Riften has kind of realized, oh, I can now commit to the game plan he was doing against me the entire time. I can hold it back, I can just shoot laser, and honestly, I'm pretty fine. If I have a bad laser, that's fine, because I have room to work with. Real Mystery doesn't have that anymore, and now he has to be careful with his charge shot too, because Riften has been using his reflector really, really well, as we just see. I feel like he's just been able to adapt to Samus zoning really, really well, and, you know, for as dominant as Game 1 was, I feel like he's really come into his own and adapted and realized what he needs to do to secure this Game 5, but it's not over yet, and Samus can definitely win this, but you have to be careful of those hard swings coming from Wolf, and you really need to get a kill off the strap, but Riften making it out, and just Real Mr. She's trying to find a way to get himself back into this game.
Yeah, he's been utilizing that bomb to axe hick, as we just saw. Maybe relying on it a little too much because Riften was all ready for it, just held down on that ledge a little longer. And speaking of holding down, those claws will hold down on Riften's victory. A solid 2-0 for Mr. T in the early dregs of that match, but Riften and Wolf fighting back tooth and nail. A 3-2 swing to start us off for Recharged X200 in an insane match for the rest of what I'm sure is going to be an amazing bracket overall tonight.
Yep, and along with a little bit reluctant to make this, best of 3 versus best of 5, but, the best of 5 coming to clutch for Riften, really helping with that adaptation. Already giving us a pretty hot set to start off the tournament. But I was very, very good to watch, just from both of them. I feel like adaptation was really good from both of them. It was just a little bit stronger on Riften's end. And I feel like it just started mounting game after game, and even though he lost game 2, it was still pretty close.